Hey everyone, today we are talking about something we all do every single day, that is communication. So, what exactly is communication? Well, in simple words, communication is the process of exchanging ideas, information, facts, or feelings between two or more people to create understanding. It's not just about saying something, it's about making sure the other person understands it. For example, imagine you tell your friend, I am feeling cold. If they give you a blanket, that's great. They understood you perfectly. But if they just turn on the fan thinking you wanted some air, then clearly your message was not understood the way you meant it. So that the real goal of the communication is making sure the other person gets exactly what you mean. The word communication is derived from the Latin term communicare, which means to share, to make common, or to convey. It emphasizes that communication is about sharing ideas, information, or feelings so that others can understand and connect. So, from the very root of the word, we can see that communication is all about sharing your thoughts, making things common between people, and connecting with each other. It means that communication is not just about talking or sending a message, it's about sharing in a way that others actually understand and connect with you. For example, you might have a great idea in your head, but if you explain it in a way that confuses others, then the real communication has not happened. Good communication makes sure that your ideas, information, or even your feelings are received clearly and the other person feels connected to you. Now, let's talk about business communication. Business communication is the process of exchanging information, ideas, or messages within and outside an organization in a systematic manner to achieve business objectives. And this happens in two ways: inside the organization and outside the organization. Inside the organization, like managers talking to employees or teammates discussing a project, and outside the organization, like a company talking to its customers, suppliers, or clients. The main thing is business communication is not random chit chat, it's done in a systematic and organized way, that may be through emails, meetings, reports, presentations, advertisements, and so on. And of course, the purpose is clear, it's always about achieving business goals. And the key difference between normal communication and the business communication is normal communication is just about talking or sharing so you can connect with people, like when you chat with friends or family, whereas the business communication is sharing in a professional way with a clear purpose, like at work, to get things done or reach business goals. Now, let's talk about the features of business communication. The first one is purposeful. Every message has a clear business goal. It's not random chatting. For example, if your manager sends a message about a meeting, the goal is to inform you and maybe get confirmation. Every email, report, or announcement is meant to achieve something like sharing information, solving a problem, or making a decision. The next one is systematic, follows a clear process to reach the right person. Business communication is not disorganized, it follows a process. You first plan what to say, choose the right way to say it, and make sure it reaches the right person. Think of it like sending a parcel. You pack it carefully, choose the best courier, and make sure it arrives safely at the right address. Then the next one is formal, uses official channels to stay professional. Most business messages are official. You choose a proper channels like emails, memos, or meetings rather than the casual messages. This keeps things professional and organized, and it tells others take your communication seriously. Similarly, two-way involves sending and receiving feedback. Communication is not just sending messages, it's also listening. After sharing instructions or information, you need feedback. Maybe someone asks a question or gives suggestions. This back and forth ensures everyone understands and is working together properly. Then the next one is internal and external, happens within the company and with outsiders. Business communication happens in two types: internal communication and external communication. Internal communication is between employees, teams, or departments, helping the company to run smoothly. And the external communication is with clients, suppliers, or customers. It helps to build a relationship and ensures everyone outside the company knows what's happening Both are equally important. Then the next one is clear and accurate. Messages are precise and error free. Messages must be easy to understand and free from mistakes. Confusing instructions or wrong information can create problems, delays, or errors. Clear and accurate communication makes sure everyone knows exactly what to do. Similarly, continuous happens regularly to keep work flowing. Business communication doesn't stop, it's ongoing. Daily updates, weekly reports, or project discussions keep work moving and prevent misunderstandings. Continuous communication makes sure everyone stays informed and connected. And the last one is influenced by environment, adjusted based on context and audience. The way you communicate depends on the situation and audience. Talking to a client is different from talking to a colleague. You adjust your words, tone, and style based on who you are talking to, where you are, and what you want to achieve. Now, let's talk about objectives of business communication. The first objective is informing, sharing accurate information both inside and outside the company. A company needs to share accurate information both inside and outside. For example, a manager updating employees about a new policy or the company informing customers about a new product launch. Without proper information, confusion and mistakes happen. The second is persuading, encouraging others to act or decide in a preferred way. Businesses often try to influence people, maybe convincing employees to follow new strategy or persuading customers to buy their product. Good communication makes people more open to taking the action you want. Next, we have guiding, providing clear instructions and directions to staff. This means giving clear instructions or directions. For example, a team leader explaining how a project should be done. If communication is not clear, employees might do things the wrong way. Another objective is decision support, supplying data for better decision making. Businesses rely on data and reports to make smart decisions. Communication helps to present this information properly so managers can choose the best option. Fifth is coordinating, ensuring teams and departments work smoothly together. A business has many departments like marketing, finance, HR, and they all need to work together. Clear communication ensures everyone is on the same page, avoiding duplication of work or misunderstandings. Then comes relationship building, fostering trust with employees, clients, and partners. Communication helps to create trust and understanding with employees, customers, suppliers, and even the public. For example, companies sending appreciation emails to staff or updating clients about services. Strong relationships always depends on good communication. Next is documentation, maintaining records for future reference. Businesses must keep records of agreements, decisions, or reports. These documents act as a proof and also help in the future when the company needs to review past actions. And lastly, conflict resolution, using clear communication to prevent or resolve misunderstandings. Misunderstandings are common in workplaces. Clear and respectful communication helps to solve disputes quickly. For example, if two departments disagree on deadlines, open discussion can settle the issue. Now, let's talk about the communication process. The communication process is the series of steps through which information flows from a sender to a receiver, ensuring understanding and feedback. It's just the way information travels from one person to another. It's like a journey. A person has an idea, they share it, the other person understands it, and then gives a response. Let's discuss the steps involved in this process. It all starts with the sender or the encoder, the person who creates and sends the message. This is the person who has an idea or some information they want to share. For example, you are the one with the idea that you want to invite your friend to your birthday. Next comes encoding, the process of converting thoughts or ideas into a clear message. The sender has to think, how should I say this so the receiver understands? For example, you type, you are invited to my birthday party. It's this coming Friday. That's you putting your idea into words. Then we have the message, the information or idea being communicated. This is the actual information being shared. Here it's the text that is, you are invited to my birthday party. It's this coming Friday. The quality of the message matters a lot. If it's clear, the receiver understands easily. If it's confusing, miscommunication happens. The next part is channel. or the medium, the method used to deliver the message. It could be face-to-face conversation, a phone call, an email, or even a video. Choosing the right channel is important. For example, in our case, let's say the channel is WhatsApp, but it could be email, a phone call, or face-to-face talk, depending on what works best. Next, the receiver, the person who receives and interprets the message. This is the person for whom the message was intended. In our example, it's the friend who receives the message you sent. Now comes decoding, understanding and interpreting the sender's message. This is where the receiver interprets and tries to understand the message. If the sender explained things clearly, decoding becomes easy. But if the message is vague, the receiver might misunderstand. Here, your friend decodes the message, they interpret what you wrote. Finally, feedback. This is the receiver's response to the sender. It shows whether the message was understood or not. For example, your friend replies, "Yes, I'll be there." Or maybe, "Sorry, I am busy that day." That response shows they received and understood your message. Feedback completes the communication process because it closes the loop. Let's talk about 7 C's of communication. The 7 C's of communication are a list of principles that ensure a message is effective, clear, and easily understood. Following these principles helps the sender convey information accurately and helps the receiver understand it correctly. These are just rules that helps to make your message clear and easy to understand. If you follow them, you can share information accurately and the person receiving it will get exactly what you mean. The 7 C's of communication are also called the principles of effective communication. Let's discuss them. The first is clear. Your message should be easy to understand. Avoid complicated words or long sentences. For example, instead of saying, "Kindly ensure your presence at the forthcoming celebration," you can just say, "Please come to the party." Clear messages save time and prevent confusion. Next is concise. This means keeping your message short and to the point. Don't overload people with unnecessary details. For example, instead of writing a long paragraph about a meeting, just say, "Meeting at 3 p.m. in the conference room." People appreciate messages that are brief and direct. Then concrete. It means being specific and giving facts, not vague ideas. For example, instead of saying, "We did well in sales," you can say, "Our sales increased by 15% this month." Concrete messages are clear and give the receiver something real to understand. Next is correct, free from errors in language or information. It is about accuracy. Make sure your language, grammar, and facts are all correct. Mistakes can confuse the receiver or make your message seems unprofessional. Then after coherent, it means your message should be logical and well organized. Ideas should flow naturally so the receiver can easily follow. For example, if you are giving instructions, you start with what to do first, then explain the next steps. Don't mix everything together. And next one is complete. It means your message should include everything the receiver needs. Don't leave them guessing. For example, if you are inviting someone to an event, include the date, time, and location, not just "Come to the party." A complete message prevents follow up questions and saves time. Finally, courteous. Always be polite and respectful. Even if you are giving criticism or bad news, your tone should be kind. For example, instead of saying, "You did this wrong," you can say, "Here is a better way to do it." Courteous messages build trust and positive relationships. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.